Hey, what's going on? Well, I was just getting some work done in the Oval Office today, and I thought I would go ahead and do a quick video. I got a message from Robjcrowston. He left a message for me on my YouTube page, right on the front page there, and he wanted me to do a video on becoming a radio DJ. You know, we see a lot of videos on here, especially on my page, about becoming a mobile DJ and, you know, gig logs and things like that. And of course, many of you do know that I am a DJ at a local radio station in Pensacola, Florida, and you can listen to me live at WXBM.com. It's a country station here in town, the #1 station. And basically what Rob wanted to know is if there was any chance that I could do a video on becoming a radio DJ, since I do a lot on becoming a mobile DJ. And I thought, well, that'd be good. Even though primarily this website is designed for mobile DJs, I thought, well, why not do one on radio DJs? We could talk a little bit about that today. So thanks a lot, Rob, for writing in about that. But first of all, I did this video a couple of days ago and didn't really quite like it. I actually split it up in 2 parts, but I thought, well, you know what, there's probably some information I can eliminate out of that, so I'm going to try and consolidate it into one video right now. But basically, I'll just start out by telling you how I got started in radio. Now, this probably is going to be a lot different than what you'll have to do because things have changed since I first started out in radio. But when I was about 5 years old, I decided I wanted to be on the radio when I grew up. And a matter of fact, I could remember sitting in the the sandbox of my best friend when I was a little kid and telling him that I wanted to be on the radio, and he told me that he was going to be a basketball player. Well, he really never became a basketball player, but I did pursue radio. And, you know, once I got into about middle school, I started focusing more on TV. And when I got into high school, we had a TV production class that was offered starting my junior year. And basically, it was a class that taught all the aspects of becoming a broadcast journalist in television at the time. And, you know, it was a really neat class to take. We actually performed our morning announcements over closed-circuit TV. So not only did you hear the announcements coming over the PA system, you got to see them on TV, which I know a lot of schools do that now. They may do that where you go to school, and but that was pretty new back then. And we had a local local TV station that donated their old news set to us. They'd remodeled their news set and gave us their old one with their old cameras and stuff. So we had some really sophisticated broadcast equipment for the time, and it was really a neat experience. Now maybe you're thinking, okay, well, if I want to go into radio, why would I want to take TV production? Well, believe me, taking TV production will help you out tremendously in radio. Also, drama will as well, because you'll learn how to really be able to do things on the spot. You know, in drama, you know, the show must go on if you're on the stage. Well, it's the same thing, you know, in broadcasting. You know, there are times when I've gone into work and I've actually been sick. You know, where I've been laying down in the lobby on the couch, and I would get up long enough to go do a break, and I would sound so cheery and sound like everything's good, and then I'd go back and lay down if I'm running a fever or something like that. Probably not the best thing to do, but I have done that before. But you know, you can learn how to ad-lib and how to how to sound cheery and actually act. you know that's a good thing. That's where a lot of it comes into when you go into radio. And of course, same thing in mobile DJing. I mean, sometimes, you know, you're going to have to work even if you don't feel good, and you have to you know just put on a smile and do the best job that you can. So that's basically how that works. So I definitely recommend taking drama for mobile DJ or radio DJing. Now, when I got out of high school, I decided to go for a semester up to Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. That's Jerry Falwell's college. I was up there only for a semester right after I graduated. And I actually got a job at their campus radio station. I did news 1 day a week during the morning show. And that was a pretty fun job. I enjoyed that. You know, it didn't pay anything, but I mean, I got some live broadcast experience. Well, after that semester was over, I headed back to Panama City where I'd grown up. And I decided to go to our local community college there, and they have a campus radio station. Actually, it's an AM/FM radio station. And the AM station was designed for students who were wanting to go into radio, and part of our job, or part of our grade rather, was to go on the air for 2 hours a week. And you know, we took the class. Our teacher started us out with the most basic stuff, teach us how to do everything, and we had to go on the air for 2 hours a week and produce a show and DJing, and we got graded on that. So that was a good experience for me as well. Well, my teacher eventually helped me get a job at my favorite radio station in Panama City. It was called Island 106. It's still around today. It's a top 40 radio station, although it's gone more urban rhythmic, it seems like now. But back then, it was a real mainstream top 40 station. And I ended up getting a job there. I wasn't on the air, though, but I did go and work in the overnight hours, and I played CDs and just, you know, learned the basic roots of being in radio. Well, later on, I decided to move to Pensacola later on that year, in November of 1996. Wow, almost 13 years ago. I decided to move to Pensacola 2 hours away. And when I got to Pensacola, I applied at every single radio station in town. Well, none of them called me there, you know, at first. But then finally, one of them did call me. And they said, well, we're an oldie station, but we're really not looking for anybody on the air right now. Even though you do have broadcast experience, we're looking for somebody to dress up in a gator suit and go out with us whenever we broadcast live. I thought, okay, well, that's not really what I want to do, but you know what? It may lead up to some other things. That's what the lady who hired me said. She said it may wind up leading to other things. Well, WXBM 102.7 was in the same building, right across the hallway, the #1 station in the market. And I thought, well, that'd be kind of good. Maybe I can get my foot in the door that way. So I did that, and I dressed up in that gator suit for almost a year, going out and broadcasting with them, and just waving, shaking kids' hands, that kind of thing. Well, finally, I decided to see if there was any openings at WXBM, and they were looking for somebody to work part-time on the weekends. So I started out working one shift a week, and this was just basically board operating, just throwing CDs in and everything, and running some syndicated shows, like Country Countdown USA and things like that. Well, eventually that evolved into 2 days a week, and then, I started filling in for whenever one of the DJs needed off. And eventually our overnight guy left, and so I inherited his shift and became the new overnight DJ there. And that was a pretty neat experience as well. I mean, I'll never forget that. But ever since then, I've been full-time as the overnight DJ at WXBM, but I've also filled in a lot for the other DJs. I mean, I've worked the morning shift before, I've worked the afternoon shift, middays, I mean, I've done evenings, I've done fill-ins over at our sister station, Soft Rock 94.1, and I'm basically there whenever they need me, and I make myself pretty valuable on that. I mean, there's not really any shift in that whole radio station that I can't do. But however, a full-time position is overnights, and I'm actually one of the only live local DJs that works after midnight in this market. I know, but I maybe in the United States, I'm not really sure. But a lot of radio stations nowadays really don't have a lot of DJs during the overnight hours. If you ever heard of a station called Jack, like Jack FM or Steve FM, or if it's named after somebody, if it's like Jack FM, Steve FM, or I don't know, Bob FM, something like that, those stations don't have any DJs. If you ever listen to them, they may have one of those in your area, and a lot of radio stations are going to that. And so that's something you may want to keep in mind. Now, to get involved in radio, here's what I can suggest, okay? If you're in high school, find out if they have a TV production class in there and get involved in that. Maybe you can help out with the morning announcements. Maybe at your local church, if they need some help on the sound or something like that, I would get involved in that. Maybe ask them, or maybe see if your church has a local radio station. I know that a lot of areas, churches do have radio stations that volunteer to work and maybe get some experience that way. But if your community college has some classes in radio, I would definitely recommend that. But definitely, drama and TV production are two classes that you can definitely take to get involved. Or here's something else you may want to try. Call your local radio station. Just call up and ask to speak to the program director, because I know at WXBM we have part-time students that are high school students, and what they do is they go out with us whenever we go out and broadcast. They help us hand out bumper stickers, they help us put up tents, they help us do really anything that we need, and they're a real big help to us. And that may be something you may want to check out as well, because you can get a chance to see a DJ in action and help out the radio station. I don't really know if the radio stations in your area offer that, but I would call the program director and just say, hey, look, I'm a young person, I want to get involved in radio. What can I do? Do you have any part-time jobs? And they may not have any available right now, but maybe when the economy picks up a little bit, they'll have your name on record, and maybe you might get a phone call, like say 6 or 8 months from now. So the good thing is, don't give up, okay? But it is going to be a little bit more difficult for you to get involved in it now, because technology's changed and a lot of things have changed in radio. So that's the best advice I can give you. Just call the radio stations and see if you can possibly get a part-time job, and tell them that you're interested in, you'd like to just do whatever. Maybe if it's coming there and changing the trash or whatever, just to see what they do, just where you can see a studio. That might be your best bet as well. But here's the thing: a lot of people think that when you're working in radio or most jobs, that it's just going to go like this. Well, actually, it's more like this. Okay, you're going to go up and down, and all that, so it doesn't just go up and you rise to the fame. It's more like this. Okay, sometimes, what's this one guy? I had a teacher say to me one time, sometimes you have to take a step backwards to go 2 steps forwards. Okay, I found that to be true just in everything. So there you go. Remember that. Sometimes you have to take a step backwards to go 2 steps forwards. Okay, Rob, I hope that answered your questions. If you've got any other questions, feel free to email me, and I'll be glad to answer them as much as I can. And for those of you who have asked me other questions, I'll try to get to those as soon as I can. I've just been so busy, but they are coming, and maybe I'll answer them in a video response as well. So until next time, practice and enjoy.